I'm Julie Francis, and I am an environmental educator, lifelong. And Howard, my husband, Howard Drossman, who's a professor in the chemistry department, and myself, we started Catamount about 30 years ago here in Colorado Springs. And that has been just a dream come true for us. And the crowning jewel of it all has been the tree semester, teaching, researching, and environmental education program that is a program of Colorado College that takes place at the mountain campus.
What inspired you to co-found the Catamount Institute and Tree?
Just in the back of my mind, I kept thinking, this town really needs an amazing environmental education center. And so we started looking for land. And 4 years, literally after the time we looked at it, the Trust for Public Land contacted us, and they said, we'd like to preserve all the land as open space and have it be a natural resource protection land. And if you're still interested in buying, we would work with you if you write a proposal to have an environmental education nonprofit on it. So together with some CC students that were seniors at the time, we got together and we started brainstorming what would then become the tree semester, teaching, researching environmental education. And we pitched it to the college. We pitched it to this Big Idea program where we got a grant for $5,000. And it was at that point that we, 12 years ago, that we started our pilot program. And we piloted it for a year with CC alum. And then the following year was when we started the tree semester with undergraduates.
What work did you do with the students that you think should be valued more widely by education?
I would say that educators could learn to build better communities at their schools and at the places where they teach, where they can really have an authentic community building experience. And it's a lot more fun that way, right? It's like work hard, play hard, be a community, and we'd always say we're living and learning, up there above the clouds. In a perfect universe, all teachers would be able to get kids outside more often to learn. Also, just like at any school, there's plenty of students that have learning preferences and challenges, but when you get them into the outdoor environment, even if you're in the middle of the city and all you do is look up at the sky and take some deep breaths or walk out to the nearest tree and just gather around it and breathe with the trees, exchanging oxygen and carbon dioxide and just grounding people in the natural world, that is going to make all the difference. Let's figure out a way to make that accessible for all population.
What aspects of Tree had the most lasting impacts on students in the surrounding community?
It's the way that our CC Tree students learn to listen to the land, and they learn to love the land. That is something that is beyond, me or any human. It's a way of being interconnected with the more than human world. Tree semester was very much a community service program. So we, in the schools that we work with, we were their outdoor and environmental education programming. We would have one college student with 10 fifth graders for a whole semester every Friday. We were their science outdoor education. So our CC students would come up with the most amazing inquiry-based science education curriculum. And that was a big offering to the community.
What do you envision for the future of Tree?
So I'm hoping that Tree is just on pause. There are professors here that have trained with Tree semester, and I know the education department would love to see it continue, and we were the biggest feeder into the MAT program. So, it's just a time at the college where there's an interim sort of time, and so it just wasn't meant to be for now, but I'm hoping it's just a pause. So our hope is that the college will use the center as a big resource.
How do you involve spirituality and indigenous knowledge in the curriculum?
We do bring Indigenous elders into our program. For example, we've had Debbie Howell work with us. She's the campus elder, as well as the Northern Ute historian, Forrest Cooch, and so Linda Kalin, who's a Cherokee elder and historian. So they come and they work with us, and they live with us for a week or two throughout the semester. And Howard and Forrest were teaching about lake ecology, and Howard's out there by the lake, and he's going on and on about lake management from a science perspective. And then he turns to Forrest and he says, "Can you add the indigenous perspective?" And Forrest says, "Ask the lake." Our students read Braiding Sweetgrass. And then one of the things that I'm very proud that I bring, I'm trained as a forest therapy guide. And so I train the CC students in this practice, and they in turn work with their fifth graders and Tesla High School students to bring forest practice, forest time, we call it.
What are some of the unique aspects of tree students get to experience during the semester?
One of the things that I hear students say over and over again when they come to Colorado College is that they really want to be in the natural environment more. And they find that they're here, and Colorado Springs is a really great city, but sometimes being on campus can feel very urban and stressful and even cliquey in some ways. And you go up to the mountain campus and you are in a living, learning community, but because you're only 40 minutes from the Springs, you can still come down and be part of dance workshop, or you can still come down and, take a lesson or see your friends over the weekend. So it really is the best of both worlds for students participating in tree semester, and to have that in your undergraduate and be able to teach students like that is pretty unique. Let me say the last 2 weeks of the semester, so like November, December timing, they would start going into the classroom, and they would take everything that they learned in the field, like all the investigations and science inquiry, and they go into the classroom and help the fifth graders write papers up, and they would put together these incredible like poster sessions, and then they would have like a big night for the community and their parents where the fifth graders would present their science posters. So yeah, we go kind of full circle back into the classroom.